tradition. It lives in us on this island. It grows as we grow. It changes as we change, adapts, and perseveres. Tradition has heart and the courage to explore new paths. It stretches beyond our shores and creates a united Namagi for us all. Here at Cape Breton University, tradition never stands still. Ours is a tradition of possibility, inspiring us to become the leaders of tomorrow and creating a world we can be proud of. Ours is a tradition of new, and everyone is welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our Study, Work, and Live in Canada webinar. Thank you for taking the time to participate in our meeting today. I'm Regina Aguilar, and I'm one of the Senior Advisor and Managing Director of Canadian Immigration Consultancy. I will be your host this afternoon, and we have a very special guest all the way from Nova Scotia, Canada, who is now in our office in Cebu, in Swissy. Hi, Brett. Are you there? How are you?
Hi, Regina. I'm very well. Yes, I'm here in your offices in Cebu.
It's wonderful to see you, and thank you for visiting us. And we truly appreciate your time together with our Cebu team. All right, we are live in Zoom and Facebook, and we're going to give a couple of more minutes for our participants to join. It's just 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and if you are watching live, you may want to join us in the room in our Zoom meeting, because after the first session, we're going to do a breakout session to have a one-on-one consultation with you, and you can talk directly to any of our advisors. So the Zoom meeting, I'm going to post in the screen right now. All right, there you go. That's you can register at bit.ly/3YZUDBP. And when you register, you can get your meeting link on that link, all right? So this afternoon, we're going to have 2 sessions from 2 to 3 o'clock. That's the study in Canada, particularly in Cape Breton University, Nova Scotia. And our special guest will discuss about studying in CBU, the school admission process, the requirements, and the programs available for you to take. Then after that, we're going to have a Q&A to answer your questions related to studying and working or living in Canada. And then the second part, that will be a 30-minute discussion. I will handle that. It's about processing your study permit and how to start your application soon. Okay, and while we are admitting some of our participants, please stand by and please join us, those that are live, that are watching live in Facebook. All right, we will assign later on to different breakout rooms, no, to continue one-on-one assessment. All right, once again, this webinar is hosted by Canadian Immigration Consultancy Swissy branch, and our company has been in the business for more than 33 years. We have offices in Canada, in Taiwan, and we have 12 branches all over the Philippines. All right, so without further ado, let me introduce to you one of our school partner in Nova Scotia who have been working together and sending students to Cape Breton University since 2016 or 2018. And we have around 21 students that are studying at CBU for the past 2 years. So help me welcome the Senior International Student Recruitment Consultant of Cape Breton University in Nova Scotia, Mr. Brett McLean.
Well, thank you very much, Regina, for that very kind introduction. And certainly I'd like to say a big thank you to all of the SWECE staff here in the Cebu office. They've been wonderful to work with over the last number of years since 2016. And thank you very much to everyone who's turned up for the seminar today. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'll probably keep it to 30 minutes of a PowerPoint because I think that's all anyone wants to hear me talk about. And then perhaps we can do a Q&A. And as Regina said, there's going to be a breakout section there afterward. I know that photograph of me is certainly with shorter hair. So I do want to recognize that and assure you that I am the same person that it's the pandemic that has caused
You
this.
look good at your hair, Brett. It's okay.
Oh, that's very, very kind. But what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to share my screen, if you could tell me that it's up, and then we'll get started. Can you see that okay?
Yes, you can see it.
Perfect. Okay. So let's start. So why Canada? Usually the first thing students will ask is, why should we consider going to Canada when we have the options of, the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, perhaps Europe, Malaysia? And to that, I usually tell students there's a number of different reasons. I guess the foremost reason is Canada has a very strong history and reputation of offering excellent education. We have some of the best universities in the world, and 98% of our institutions, including Cape Breton University, are publicly funded government institutions. This is something I think your students should really consider when they're applying to an institution, because of course you want your degree to mean something after you graduate. And when you graduate from a Canadian public university, it's not just recognized within Canada, but also in the United States, the Middle East, Europe, and Asia. Another factor I think a lot of students consider when they're coming to Canada is the price point. But because we pay a lot of taxes in Canada, compared to the US, the UK, and Australia, our international student fees are much more competitive in price. Certainly, if you are looking to do post-grad programs, we have a very good tuition price that we can talk about later. And it's certainly something I think that will be very important for those when looking what they're going to do abroad. The last option, and the last reason I would say, is probably because of immigration. Definitely better than certainly the UK, the US, or Australia. Canada wants its students to stay after they graduate, not just for the 3-year postgraduate work permit, but also for permanent residence. Certainly Cape Breton University being a university in Atlantic Canada or in Nova Scotia, we've attracted a lot of Filipino international students because of the very generous permanent residence options after you graduate. Students can actually qualify for their PR within 6 months of graduating if they study with us at Cape Breton University in Nova Scotia. So those are some of the main points, but what I want to do here is just take some time to talk about the programs we offer, how you apply, and what the next steps would be. Before we do that, just a quick little piece on where we're at. Obviously, Canada is a very large country. Cape Breton University is located in Cape Breton, which is a part of Nova Scotia and is on the far east coast. We're right on the Atlantic Ocean. So certainly we have access to the sea on 3 sides. And we're a smaller province. We're only about 1 million people that live in Nova Scotia. But we're actually ranked the #1 island in North America by Travel and Leisure magazine and get millions of tourists every year, typically from Europe and the United States, coming for our luxury beach resorts, golf resorts, and ski resorts. We have a large cruise line industry that comes through Cape Breton, as well as some very unique species of whales and birds that attract a lot of nature-going tourism. And the reason I say this is because if you're looking to live in a place like Cebu or maybe Manila with 3, 4, 5 million people, this is not Cape Breton. People come to our beautiful island to relax, to enjoy kind of the nature. So if that's something you're interested in, it is definitely beneficial. Considering that we're not a village, we have an airport you can fly into directly from Montreal, from Toronto. It's certainly a place with lots of bars, restaurants, cafes, a lot of malls, but it's not a city of 5 million people. Perhaps if you're planning to come with your spouse and children, it's a very safe place to live. It's very easy to get around. And certainly you won't have to worry about the traffic of perhaps other cities in the Philippines or in Canada. The weather and the climate of Nova Scotia, while we are the warmest province in Canada, compared to the Philippines, we still get cold. But certainly if you have family or friends living in Toronto, Montreal, perhaps in Edmonton, they will tell you how cold it gets. And this is not Nova Scotia. We have winter for only about 3 to 4 months of the year, and certainly our houses are built to accommodate for that. But saying that, what can you expect at Cape Breton University? So we are a smaller university. We're only about 6,000 students in total, but we do have over 2,500 international students from 56 different countries. And what I think is good about this is that you get the best of both worlds. You get a very multicultural experience where you're going to be studying, of course, with other students from the Philippines, Vietnam, Japan. You're going to be studying with students from Brazil, Argentina, Germany. But you're also going to be studying with Canadian students in a classroom setting where you'll get to know them as well as the professor as well. So if you are somebody, that wants to take a nap at the back of the class or maybe skip class, the professors will notice, and you might want to consider what other options are there. But it is a wonderful place to study and get that academic support that you might need. Now, in terms of study options, we actually have over 100 different programs available. But for the Philippines, we really only see 99% of these students going into 5 or 6 programs. So I think for today, we're going to focus on those post-grad programs that are very popular. But certainly, if you're someone directly from high school that wants to know more about our engineering programs or a Bachelor of Business, let me know. We can always discuss those. Before we do, though, just to let you know, because we are a public university, you are able to work part-time while you study and full-time during scheduled breaks. Tuition is based on how many subjects you take per semester. And if you're in the same program as perhaps your friend, if you're taking more subjects that semester, you might be paying, well, you will be paying a little bit more. Now, the Shannon School of Business. This is our business school, and this is where I would say probably 75 to 80% of our Filipino students are coming for our postgraduate programs, or sorry, post-baccalaureate. Here we go, sorry. So if you're someone that already has a degree from the Philippines, whether you went to school under the K-10 system or you finished through the K-12, you are eligible to apply for these programs. Our post-baccalaureate programs are done over 2 years, which means you will be eligible to apply for the 3-year postgraduate work permit after you graduate. And these programs are done with the first 3 semesters in class, and the final semester is either an internship or a research project. If you decide you want to do the internship, you do not need a special visa for this. Because it is part of the program, you're able to do the internship with your study permit. Please know, an internship is different than a co-op because internships can be paid or they can be unpaid. And more importantly, the internship is not guaranteed. You need to be having at least a 70% average in year 1 to be eligible for the internship. And if you don't have this average, you can simply just do the research project with a faculty member. Now, these two-year post-baccalaureate programs have been designed in mind with the labor market. The post-baccalaureate business programs that we've created are being offered because there is job demand for these. And this is why we've chosen a 2-year supply chain management program, 2 years in business analytics, 2 years in business management, or 2 years in public health management. Nova Scotia, because it is right on the Atlantic Ocean, we have a very large port in the capital, Halifax. And if you're someone here in the Philippines that might work in logistics or supply chain management, or are looking to get into this industry, this is an excellent program for that. Please note, most of our students in the post-baccalaureate business programs did not study business in their undergraduate degree. If you've done engineering, or maybe you've done pharmacy, or you've done nursing, these are where you're probably going to be coming for our program. If you don't have a business background, don't worry. Students interested in more of a general management program where you're going to study finance, accounting, marketing, you might be interested in the business management program. Or if you're someone that's come with a background perhaps in finance, statistics, IT, computer science, the business analytics program might be for you. And last of not, of course, least is the public health management. We actually designed the public health management program with the Philippines and South India in mind. I know that there's a lot of students coming from a nursing background here in the Philippines, from pharmacy, physiotherapy. If you're looking to do something in healthcare management in Canada, the public health management program is going to be for you. There's a lot of jobs in this industry, and we expect it only to grow as the Canadian population ages. Saying that, these 4 programs do have some specific requirements. The supply chain management, business management, and public health management, we're going to require that you have between a 1 and a 2 overall average in your university degree here from the Philippines. I think most universities in the Philippines here go from a 1 to a 5 scale, and the 1 to 2 is what we require, or a 70% Canadian average overall. So anything 2 and below. For the business analytics program, we're going to require that you have an overall average of between a 1 and a 2, but also we're going to need you to have subjects in either maths or statistics in your undergraduate degree as well. And we need those between a 1 and a 1.5. There's a lot of maths and statistics in the business management program. So this post-bac program does have slightly different requirements. Saying that, if you have these overall average, we would love to have you for this program, because I think not only are there a lot of job opportunities, there's also a very good price point. The entire post-baccalaureate business program, whether you study supply chain management, business management, what have you, is going to be 28,000 Canadian dollars, which is about 1.1 million Filipino pesos. And that's for the full 2 years. 18,000 Canadian dollars for year 1, which is about 750,000 pesos, and another 10,000 Canadian dollars for year 2, which is about 400,000 Filipino pesos. So if you are somebody that's looking for a good postgrad program at a public university, this is something that we do offer. For those of you that are interested in a hospitality or tourism management program, given the world-renowned tourism industry here in the Philippines, we do have an option in our undergrad hospitality program for you to transfer into year 2, so that you can complete the full program in 2 years instead of 3. This will, of course, allow you to apply for the 3-year postgrad work permit, and of course, get experience working in the hospitality industry in Canada. This hospitality program that we do offer will require you to complete 2 4-month paid internships. So in total, you're actually going to have to work 8 months, and you actually make money in this program. This is a program that we offer where students earn about 10,000 Canadian dollars over the course of their program. And certainly, because this is required, we have many tie-ups and many partnerships with golf resorts, ski resorts. We're going to help you find that internship that's required. Last but not least is going to be our School of Health and Education. For those of you that have a science background or already have a science-related degree in nursing, maybe in public health, biology, pharmacy, we have an excellent public health program that you can do within 2 years. And this public health program is very much focused on epidemiology and the prevention of disease spreading through air, water, and food. As we go into the 3rd year of this pandemic, you've probably heard a lot about preventing the spread of disease and epidemiology. This is a wildly popular program now for our international students, so much so that we've actually had to cap this program at 100 students. If you are interested in this program, I would suggest applying at least 6 months in advance because there's only 5 or 6 universities in Canada that offer this, and there are a lot of job opportunities post-graduation, okay? Considering that, those are the programs that we really focus on for the Philippines. The 4 post-baccalaureate business programs, the hospitality and tourism management program, because you actually make money while you study with the 2 paid internships, and of course, the public health program that we do offer. One thing I would stress about this public health program, though, is that you need to have taken at least a microbiology subject in your undergraduate degree. Admissions will want to see microbiology. Considering that, what we can do, maybe we can just take 5-10 minutes to talk about what supports we're going to provide you, and then we could do maybe some Q&A. As a public university, we offer a lot of facilities on campus. We have full-time doctors, nurses on staff to help you. We have academics advising free of charge if you're struggling maybe with a certain subject. We have counseling staff as well as prayer and meditation space available. Because we do have a lot of international students, you know, we understand that this is going to be a stressful process, moving from your country to a new country and getting established. So every intake, we now offer an orientation session where we'll pick you up at the airport. We'll help you find an apartment on campus or off campus. We're going to help you get a bank account set up. We're going to help you get a mobile phone. And essentially, all of those things that you have here in the Philippines, we're going to help you get when you arrive in Canada. So please don't feel like you're going to arrive at the airport at 2 in the morning. No one's going to be there to greet you. Trust me, we'll make sure that someone's there to pick you up and make sure that you get set up within 10 days of classes starting. If you decide you want to come, 2 months early, it might be difficult, but we have a 10-day period where we greet thousands of international students every year. One of the great things about studying at Cape Breton University in Nova Scotia, it's a very vibrant campus. Like I said, we have over 56 different nationalities, so there's always something going on. In this photo here, we have a lot of students coming from East and West Africa, as well as the Caribbean, from Jamaica, from the Bahamas, from Bermuda, Trinidad. So we have a week-long Afro-Caribbean week. We have a massive Diwali event for our Indian and subcontinent students. We have a large Chinese New Year for our Vietnamese and Chinese students. And of course, being a very Catholic province, which Nova Scotia is, Easter, which is coming up, and of course, Christmas will be the 2 largest holiday seasons for us. Now, sports and athletics. I know Filipinos, I know you love your basketball, and I'm very happy to tell you that we have one of the best basketball and soccer teams in Canada. Even though we are a smaller university, we are extremely strong in athletics. We have 5 basketball courts, we have tennis courts, badminton courts, we have an indoor and outdoor soccer pitch, we have an ice hockey rink, and a full gym that's available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, free of charge. If you are a basketball fan, please come and support the university team. We love when Filipino students turn up because obviously you're very passionate about basketball. Now, probably the most important part of the slide or this presentation, if you listen to only 2 minutes of this PowerPoint, let it be for this slide. How to apply to Cape Breton University. As Regina said, SWECE and CBU have been working together now for many years. They've been a wonderful partner to help not us only recruit students, but also for you when applying for the application and acceptance to the university and the visa. If you decide that you want to apply to Cape Breton University, there's normally an $80 or about 5,000 peso application fee. If you decide that you want to apply and you've attended this event today, it will be free of charge. You will, of course, have to apply with the team here at SWECE, but if you decide to apply through SWECE, it will cost you nothing but your time. What we will need from you, if you apply for any of the programs, we're going to need you to send your university transcripts as well as the completion of degree parchment. We need to see your university degree that you completed university, and that's it. Once we receive all the documents, it takes approximately 2 to 3 weeks to apply to the university. We do have 3 intakes per year, September and January being the largest 2 intakes, as well as a smaller May intake. The May intake is now closed, so the next intake that opens will be for September, and the deadline to apply for that is June 15th. Considering that, I would strongly advise applying before June 15th because the embassy they're still backlogged because of the pandemic, processing study permits. So if you do have your documents ready now, I would strongly recommend applying as soon as possible. Saying that, if you do get accepted to the university, but you don't get your visa in time for, say, the September intake, you'll see in your offer letter where we say alternative intakes. Your offer letter to Cape Breton University is actually valid for 3 intakes. So if you can't come in September, you can automatically have your seat held for January 2023 or May 2023. You do not have to apply again. You just need to defer and deregister for any classes you might have registered for. If that happens, just let the team here at SWECE know, and they'll help you defer until the next intake, okay? I'm sure some of you have questions about the IELTS exam. At Cape Breton University, we actually recognize the Philippines as an English-speaking country, and you can be accepted to CBU without submitting an IELTS score. It's the only country in Asia that we do this for. We don't do it for Korea, we don't do it for Japan, China, Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, no one else except the Philippines. So you can actually apply with the medium of instruction in English, okay? If for some reason you have studied in a foreign language, we will need an IELTS score of 6.5, no band less than 6. When coming to Canada, most of our undergrad students stay on campus, but I do know most of our Filipino students are postgraduate students, so you do often stay off campus. We have an off-campus housing advisor who can help you with finding an apartment off campus. And in your acceptance package, you'll find details of how to get assistance finding an apartment off campus. Almost done here. There are a few very, very important things that you need to do when you get accepted to CBU. The first one is immediately register your CBU email address. Within 24 hours of being accepted, you're going to get an email from the IT telling you how to register your CBU email address, because once you've been accepted, all future communication no longer goes to your personal email address. It only goes to your CBU email address. The next steps, of course, will be then to pay your tuition deposit through the CIBC banking portal. You're going to need to do this with your CBU email address. So everything else that you need to do after you get accepted is going to require your CBU email address. Once you've submitted your tuition deposit, once you've registered your student portal, you're going to have to now apply for your visa. This is where Sweezy is going to be very, very helpful. They're going to help you get the deposit into your CIBC account. They're going to help you write the study plan, and they're going to help you file your study permit application. Once you've received your study permit application acceptance, you're going to have to register for academic advising at CBU so that you can register for classes. If you do not schedule academic advising, you will not be able to register for classes. But again, the team here is going to help you with that. And then once that's done, you simply need to get in contact with either on-campus or off-campus housing to figure out what you're going to do for your living arrangements and schedule your airport pickup so we can collect you from the airport when you arrive. Other than that, Regina, I think that's really it. That's kind of my pitch to your students. In a nutshell, what I would say is, if you're interested in studying at a public university in Canada, I think at a good competitive tuition price, and I might add, a much lower cost of living than other parts of Canada, for programs that give excellent immigration options post-graduation, this is what we can offer you.